My footsteps stopped, as if nailed to the floor. I gripped the glass so tightly I thought it would shatter, because I knew the men's laughter, laced with contempt for a woman, spelled trouble.
Beckett, you're getting married in 2 weeks. What about the sugar baby you've got tucked away?
Keep your mouths shut. Sage Hollis won't find out as long as none of you run your mouths.
One door separated me from the man I loved for years. In that thin space, my whole life became light as a feather. He not only cheated, but also carefully planned all this, turning me into a secret he could control. Humiliation came first, hot and suffocating. Then something colder settled. Something that didn't cry, didn't beg, and didn't compromise. I didn't knock, nor did I burst in. I turned and walked away to book a service to erase myself.
Miss Hollis, I need to confirm. Once we start, it takes about 2 weeks. Your legal name change and relocation documents will go through. No one who knows you will be able to track you again.
I'm sure.
All right. Your new documents and transition plan will be ready once completed. I hope this gives you a fresh start.
A fresh start. I wanted to believe it so badly it hurt. I hung up, put my phone in my pocket, and walked to the curb to hail a cab, as if there was nothing broken inside me. I'd just showered and was about to climb into bed when the door opened. First came the scent of whiskey, then Beckett himself, warm, familiar, confident.
Wifey, why didn't you come get me? I was waiting, I swear, you smell so good.
His hands began to wander, greedy and at ease, as if my body was already his consolation prize. I stared at the ceiling, letting him cuddle against me. My thoughts went back to the beginning, to the man I trusted with my life. I'm tired tonight.
You look a little thin. Get some good sleep, okay? I'm here.
I didn't answer. I closed my eyes and pretended I was already gone. The next morning, I woke to him dressing in his closet as if nothing had changed.
Good morning, wifey. It's Christmas Eve. I'm taking you out. Get up and get dressed.
He said it like a decision already made for me, then left before I could refuse.
Madam, you're awake. I'll prepare breakfast for you.
We weren't married, but Beckett always ordered his staff and friends to call me madam. Because he liked the pretense, he liked molding me into his, quietly, privately. In 2 weeks, he would have a real public wife. I lowered my eyes, exhaled softly, the taste of irony filling me. Then I ate breakfast, as if swallowing glass. After breakfast, he sent the driver away because he wanted just us. He drove me through the city. He took me to a garden cafe, then to the aquarium. He kept staring at my face as if tracking my emotions. Every time I looked a little tired, he would immediately slow down, make me sit, buy me something, and ask if I was okay. That's where he was dangerous. He could take such good care of you, making you forget he was also the one hurting you. That night I thought we were going home, but he drove the car up the mountain.
You once said the fireworks would be great from there. I saved this surprise. Shall we go see if you were right?
It was something I'd casually said while scrolling YouTube, so casually I'd almost forgotten it. Yet somehow he hadn't forgotten. He remembered every little detail that made me happy until it became inconvenient. I didn't answer. He didn't seem to care. He kept talking, trying to coax me out of my silence, filling the space like he always did. About half an hour later, we reached the scenic overlook. The city lights below twinkled like glitter on black velvet, and for a moment, I could almost pretend this was still my life. As the last hour of December 24th began to tick away, Beckett's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, then shot me a quick, wary look. When he saw I was looking out at the view, he exhaled softly, then turned sideways and started typing. I barely had to tilt my head to see.
Beckett, honey, I'm so lonely tonight. Can you come be with me?
Don't start.
Please, Raina's scared of the dark. I want my baby with me.
Be good. Wait for me.
Before he looked up, I turned my face to the city, as if I hadn't seen anything.
Sage, there's an urgent company matter. I have to go back. I'm sorry, I can't count down with you.
Beckett didn't even linger. Less than a minute passed from his words to the disappearance of his taillights. He was so eager that he forgot one small thing. He drove away the only car. My chest tightened, as if someone clutched my heart, squeezing until breathing hurt. The countdown hit 0. Fireworks exploded over the city, huge, bright, magnificent. He planned it all for me. My phone vibrated in my palm, small and innocent. As if it didn't know, it was about to finish what Beckett started. It was a number I didn't recognize. I should have ignored it, but my finger still swiped. The second the message opened, I knew, Raina Ransom. Beckett's arm was around her waist, his head bent, looking at her with the same tender smile he once reserved for me. The text below the picture left me breathless. We're getting married. Beckett thinks you're worthless. Be smart, leave before you embarrass yourself. My fingers tightened, the phone creaking in my hand. Worthless. The fireworks were gone, the cheers in the distance had faded. The mountaintop was silent and dark. My phone died in my hand as if it refused to witness any more. No light, no signal, Just the sliver of a moon, a path, and the kind of darkness that allowed imagination to turn on itself. Snow began to fall, softly at first, then thicker. A brutal truth quickly surfaced. If I stayed, they'd be cleaning up my remains by morning, so I started walking. The moment I stepped fully into the darkness, fear crawled up my spine, slow and ugly. Beckett knew I was afraid of the dark. He used to tease me for it, then hold me close. Yet tonight, he left me here. I walked and walked, the cold air burning my lungs, my hands stiff in my sleeves. It was 4 hours before I made it to a road where cars passed. I was pale, my lips blue from the cold. The house was dark, silent. Beckett was with his fiancée. I worked my mouth into a semblance of a smile, as if I were joking, as if my dignity wasn't shattered. I was just the part of his life he kept in the shadows. The next thing I knew, I was being shaken awake. I opened my eyes to Beckett's anxious face.
Sage, you have a fever. We're going to the ER now.
I was too hazy to argue. He lifted me as if I weighed nothing. My mind kept circling. Why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be with her? By the time I was lucid enough to see past the windshield, the sun had painted the road in bright light. At the hospital, he wouldn't let me walk. He carried me straight into the emergency room. He answered questions, asking what to look out for, what could be wrong. He looked like a man who was afraid to lose something. As they gave me an IV, the doctor smiled at me and said, "You have a good boyfriend. You have a good boyfriend. Hold on to him." The words almost made me laugh. Beckett leaned closer, his scent filling my nostrils. Good boyfriend? Fresh from his fiancée's bed, and he had the audacity to stand there. The nurse swabbed my arm. Beckett pulled my head to his chest, stroking my shoulders.
Hey, it's okay. Just a little pinch. I'm here, baby. You're fine.
I wanted to tell him I wasn't afraid of needles. I wanted to tell him it wasn't this pain that was destroying me. But I didn't give him the satisfaction of a performance. I just stayed still, letting him perform for the room. He hovered, tucking me in, asking if I was dizzy, if I needed anything, as if he could make up for abandoning me that night. By playing the hero during the day, I closed my eyes, refusing to appease him. Eventually, exhaustion pulled me into a deep sleep. When I woke up, he was gone. The IV bag was almost empty. I pulled out the needle myself, pressed a hand to the spot, and dragged my heavy head and weak body to the bathroom. I told myself I just needed a minute, a breath, a space to keep my heart from shattering completely. As I stepped out, I saw them. Beckett, his hand on Raina's waist, walking out of the OBGYN office, as if she were a fragile treasure, as if he'd done it 1,000 times. I rushed back into the bathroom, but their voices drifted down the hall.
It's been 2 months. You're a mom now. You can't be reckless.
Then you'll have to watch me, Beckett, darling. And the baby needs a daddy, right?
Of course, the wedding's in less than 2 weeks. Don't worry, I don't want you and the baby to be tired.
Their footsteps faded. I stood there stiffly, tears hot and fast, soaking my cheeks, as if my body was leaking all the emotions I'd been suppressing. They were having a baby. 2 months along, maybe more. How long would I have lived in this lie if I hadn't heard that conversation? Calling myself his wife while he was planning a real wedding with someone else? I scrubbed at my face as if I could scrub the humiliation off my skin. Something clinked against the sink. I looked down. A ring. It was Beckett's ring. He'd slipped it onto my finger.
Sage, will you stay with me forever? I'm serious, I love you. I'm not marrying anyone but you. Not in this life.
I believed it anyway. The difference between then and now was cruel. I forced my breathing steady. I walked out of the hospital. The ring itself sat on the counter. Beckett didn't come home until around 10. The door swung open, hurried. He dropped to one knee in front of me. He slid it back onto my finger. He kissed the back of it.
Wifey, you didn't even notice you lost it? Babe, you can't be this careless, okay? This is our promise. You're my future.
His eyes still looked full of love, but I couldn't feel it. Something in it was contaminated now. No sweetness could filter it out. Where were you today? I caught a flicker of guilt.
Work, something urgent came up, I handled it. When I went back, you were gone.
The lie landed like dust.
Baby, let's go riding tomorrow. There's a ranch up north. You've always wanted to, right? Doctor said you need sunlight. You'll feel better.
He didn't ask if I wanted to. He never really did. I just let it pass. I was done fighting a man. Who could lie with a straight face and still call it love? I only needed to hold out. The next day, he drove me out, and Raina was there. Seeing her in person was different. She looked polished, expensive. Standing near Beckett, she made sense. He wrapped an arm around my waist.
Sage, come on, I'll teach you.
He picked out a gentle horse. He helped me up, guiding me. For half an hour, I almost forgot. I'm tired. Beckett stopped immediately. I saw Raina walk away.
Stay here, baby. I'm gonna grab you water.
That small ripple in my chest went flat. My body finally understood. I stood up quietly and followed him. Raina was already there.
What did I tell you? Until the wedding, act like strangers. If Sage makes a scene, it'll hurt us.
But the baby misses you, and she hasn't found out anyway.
Beckett's expression softened. Then he kissed her. Something in my chest ripped. My nails bit into my palms. Nausea surged up my throat. I walked away on unsteady legs. Beckett came back with water.
Sorry, wifey, I had to take a call. You didn't wait long, right?
Wifey, the word hit. I took a drink fast. Beckett's eyes dropped to my hand.
What happened? Why are you bruised?
Dark purple crescents. I couldn't even process. My body had been hurting itself. Just to keep from making a sound. Pulled the reins too hard.
No, babe, let me.
I stepped away. Smile, minimize, swallow it. It's fine, I'm gonna ride. I want to ride alone. He stopped, just like that. A small pocket of air that belonged only to me. My body moved mechanically, but my thoughts drifted far away. Raina Ransom's horse hit mine, and my horse instantly got spooked. Before the horse dragged me, I let go of the reins. Fell to the ground, covered in dirt. Shoulder and hip ached, but none of that mattered. Because Raina Ransom had also fallen, and Beckett Northcott already held her in his arms. So fast, so instinctive, his body knew who to choose. Beckett Northcott's gaze finally found me.
The baby.
Beckett Northcott froze. I watched him make his decision, watched him embrace Raina Ransom.
Sage, she's pregnant. She can't take a fall like that. Let me take her to the hospital first, okay?
Something bitter rose in my throat. He immediately picked up Raina Ransom and hurried away. I sat alone in the dirt, my hands trembling.
Ma'am, are you hurt anywhere?
I'm fine, thank you. The pain in my chest seemed permanent. I limped towards the parking lot. The car was gone. I called a ride share and went home alone. I didn't wait for Beckett Northcott. Exhaustion quickly put me to sleep. The next day, I woke up to Beckett Northcott sitting by the bed. He saw the coldness in my eyes and his smile froze. He took out the box from the nightstand and retrieved a bracelet. He carefully placed it on my wrist and kissed my hand.
Sorry, wifey, I shouldn't have rushed Raina Ransom first. I should have checked you right away. But she's pregnant and she's carrying my friend's baby. I had to make sure she was okay, you get that, right?
I lowered my head and let out a faint laugh. Not worth it.
What did you say? What's not worth it? Baby, don't talk like that. You're the most worth it person. You deserve everything. The whole world's good stuff.
I saw something on TV yesterday, a couple. The guy thought they were together, but the girl got engaged. Everyone argued if he should forgive her. What do you think?
He shouldn't forgive her, not a chance.
I agree. He shouldn't. I'm hungry.
Then I'll cook. Go wash up, wifey. I'll call you when it's ready.
He hurried downstairs as if the problem was solved. I watched his retreating back, then slid off the bracelet and put it down. I would no longer let him pretend to sacrifice for me. My birthday was 2 days later. Beckett Northcott celebrated early.
No, I told you I'll celebrate with you every year. We're doing it.
I smiled faintly to myself. All right, let this be the last time. He brought out the cake, lit the candles, and sang for me. I closed my eyes and silently made a wish. Please let me start anew and live with dignity.
What did you wish for?
I calmly cut the cake. In my heart, I answered him, leave you. By the time Beckett Northcott came back, there wouldn't be anything left of us. He wasn't home that night. I moved through the rooms without turning on extra lights, packing only what was actually mine. Then I dug out the photos we'd taken. I struck a match. I fed the fire one photo at a time, and watched our memories collapse into ash because whatever those pictures used to mean was already dead. I didn't take a single gift Beckett Northcott had ever given me. If it wasn't mine, I didn't touch it. And once Beckett Northcott stopped belonging to me, I stopped reaching for him too. After I cleaned up, I went out and bought a new SIM card. When I left, I wasn't taking my old number. I didn't have anyone I needed to call anymore, and I didn't want anyone calling me. Later, I sat in the garden with my phone in hand. I wasn't even paying attention until a live stream popped up. Raina. She stood under bright studio lights in a wedding dress, glowing like she'd already won. And from just off camera, a man's arm wrapped around her waist, possessive, intimate, holding her like she belonged to him.
The groom doesn't want to show his face. So how did you two get together?
Our families matched us. It was an arrangement.
An arrangement? You two look way too sweet for that.
Just because it started as an arrangement doesn't mean it can't turn into real love.
You're right. Okay, when's the wedding?
4 days. It'll be the biggest wedding the city's seen. You'll all see.
I stared at that half profile, at that one eye full of love, and my chest tightened, like a fist had closed around my heart. The sunlight on my skin should have felt warm. Every blessing in the chat landed on me like a blade. I let out a dry little laugh I didn't recognize. No title, no name, no place, just the woman kept out of sight. That night, Beckett Northcott came home carrying a box. Inside was a dress. I didn't even have to think. It was the kind of pale, pretty dress you put bridesmaids in. What is this? You want me standing beside you at your wedding? Come on. That's a bridesmaid dress.
What? Oh, baby, no, I'm sorry, wifey. Why would you ever be a bridesmaid? My bride can only be you.
He always talked like that. Beautiful sentences that sounded like love. I stayed quiet in his arms and finished the thought in my head. Of course Raina would be your bride. Beckett Northcott stayed home with me constantly.
Raina, I'm handling it. I gotta keep her calm, alright? If she acts up on the wedding day, it'll blow up. Just listen to me and behave. I'll come to you when I can.
I didn't react. I just let the corner of my mouth lift, silent and cold. So that was it. He wasn't spending time with me. He was managing me, keeping me quiet. They really thought I'd fight for him. They didn't know me at all. The night before the wedding, Beckett Northcott held me.
Sage, tomorrow you're gonna stay home, okay? Be good. Don't go anywhere. Tonight I'll come back with a surprise for you.
Okay, I didn't argue. I didn't smile. The next morning he got up early. Before he left, he kissed my forehead like a blessing. When the engine sound faded down the street, I opened my eyes. I didn't get out of bed. I stayed on my side. When I reached for my phone, nothing loaded. No signal, no data. I went downstairs, picked up the remote, turned on the TV. No service. That's when the housekeeper came over.
Ma'am, the neighborhood internet is being repaired. Might be out all day.
That's fine. I'll go out for a bit then.
Sir told me. He said you should stay home and wait for him.
My eyes sparkled with a stronger resolve, my escape plan entering its final stage. I looked past her, through the window, and saw two men in black. They stood too still, watching too closely. Not for the house, for me. So this was Beckett's solution. He'd lock the door and call it protection. You can't hide the truth forever. He just wanted to control when it reached me. Okay, I'm gonna rest upstairs. Don't worry about me. Back in the bedroom, I packed the last few things that were actually mine. I laid the ring and bracelet inside like returned property. Then I slid in a note. Congratulations on your wedding. Then I tore the bedsheets into strips, knotted them together, and tossed the rope out the second-floor window. Beckett could cage a lot of things. He couldn't cage me. I climbed down, slipped off the property like I'd never belonged there. Then I popped out my old SIM card and flicked it into a flower bed. The new one clicked into place and it felt like cutting a wire inside my chest. I went straight to the agency and picked up the new ID they'd prepared. A plane ticket sat in it, printed under a name that wasn't mine anymore. I walked outside, lifted my hand to hail a ride. Someone nearby gasped, "Oh my God, that's so romantic." Across the street, a giant outdoor screen was streaming a wedding live. Beckett's wedding. Raina stood in white and Beckett stood beside her, hand resting on her waist. They looked made for each other, if you didn't know the truth. People around me smiled and sighed like they were watching a love story. Beckett had taken off the ring he used to wear. The pale line was erased. As the officiant spoke, the crowd held its breath. Then came the kiss. I lowered my aching neck and tugged my baseball cap down, hiding my eyes. I wiped the single tear that slipped out, then turned and walked to the curb. I flagged a cab and gave the airport address. At the terminal, I sat in the waiting area checking the time. Then a breaking entertainment alert popped up on my phone. My name was right there, wedged between photos of the newlyweds like a stain. The post called me a mistress, said I'd sabotaged their perfect love story. Nearby voices rose loud and disgusted. What a trashy homewrecker. The words hit my skin like heat. They didn't recognize me. I didn't defend myself. I kept walking toward the gate.
Wait, why's the groom leaving the ballroom? He just ditched the bride?
I didn't slow down. I kept walking toward the new life. When the plane lifted off, the city shrank under the clouds. For the first time in weeks, my lungs took in air that didn't feel borrowed. Then my phone vibrated in my palm. A message had come through. It's a video, without captions or warning. Just a file name stamped with a date, 12:30. My thumb hovered over it and something inside me went ice cold. I knew what that date meant. Beckett always had a way of reaching for control. Beckett and Raina had just walked off the stage, a perfect couple ready to toast. Even on his wedding day, he couldn't stop managing risks. Just then, he saw the post, and his face turned ashen. He called me immediately, but my phone was off.
Beckett, darling, it's time for our toast.
He shook off Raina's arm and headed straight for the exit.
Beckett, where do you think you're going? You're humiliating Raina and our entire family.
He didn't hear her words, only one thought in his mind. She saw it, she knew it. He still walked out and got into the car. He told the driver to drive straight home. Before the car even stopped, he jumped out. He didn't even slow down, rushing inside. He burst into the living room, scanning it.
Where is Sage?
Madam she's resting upstairs.
He didn't wait for the housekeeper and rushed upstairs. He burst into the bedroom. The bed was empty. His gaze went straight to the window. Rage burned in him, easier to face than fear.
I told you to watch her and you couldn't keep one person. What am I paying you for? Go, find her now.
He gasped for air, panic spreading. He couldn't stop imagining what I might have seen. This was why he cut the internet, TV, and stationed guards at the door. He thought he could hide it one more day, but I still escaped. His gaze swept the room again, landing on a gift box. He walked slowly, as if anticipating pain. His hand trembled as he opened the box. "Congratulations on your marriage." Beneath the paper were the ring and bracelet he gave me, returned as if I were a stranger. In that moment, everything rearranged in his mind. I looked at the dress, stopped arguing, became quiet. That wasn't submission, but resignation. I wasn't suspicious, I knew. Beckett agonizingly replayed the last 2 weeks, until a scene from one night flashed clearly. That night, he called me to pick him up. He thought I was just throwing a tantrum, punishing him, playing hard to get. He always liked to interpret my silence this way. Now, a different question arose in his mind. Was I there all along? His blood ran cold, his fingers numb.
Send me the corridor surveillance outside the private room on December 23rd.
A minute later, the video arrived. I stood outside the door. Sounds from inside the private room came through the recording. When the words "not worth it" were uttered, I flinched. I didn't rush in, didn't cry, didn't beg. I just stood there, silently enduring. A dull ache spread across Beckett's chest.
Damn it.
He slapped himself twice hard, as if pain could reboot his brain, as if punishment could rewrite time. He finally saw through all the excuses and promises, those lies that bound me like reins. And I, all along, was watching his performance. He remembered the ring from the hospital. Maybe I didn't lose it, but threw it away. The pain in his chest grew sharper. He tore the room apart, searching for any trace of me. Nothing. None of my personal belongings, as if I had erased myself. I only left that message and the abandoned ring, cold and resolute, lying in his palm. Beckett finally understood the truth. I'm not coming back. His phone vibrated.